Hi kids! Andy Johnson here. We're looking at word work within the context of some basic tutoring strategies for students with reading disabilities. Word work, first thing to keep in mind that phonics or word work is not reading. Sounding out words is simply one way to recognize words as you are reading. Reading is the process of creating meaning with print. So sounding out words is not reading. Word work is not reading. We have strategies to help us identify words as we read. There are 5 basic word recognition strategies: using context clues to figure out the word, morphemic analysis, that means prefix, affix, suffix, root, using word families, that is phonograms, the ab family, the ip family, common parts of the word. Skip the word. Yes, we do that all the time as adult readers, as proficient readers. I'm reading a research article. I don't process each individual word if I am creating meaning with print. And sight words. Remember, our brain uses or recognizes 3 cueing systems to make sense of print. Phonological, that is looking at individual words, letters within the words, making that letter-sound association. Semantics, creating meaning within the context of the sentence or reading that you are doing. And again, we use interactive. What's in our brain helps us understand what's on the page. And syntax, grammar, sentence structure, parts of the word, etc. Right? Phonics and word families, you want to be as multimodal as possible when you're using word work. Using as many modalities, that means using color, sound, movement, even music to engage different parts of the brain and use their body to make it multimodal. Some people call it multisensory. I'm more comfortable with multimodal. So when you present words, you want to do some or all of these. When you see a new word, students see the word, hear the word, say the word, spell the word, and you can use AirPrint for this, or sometimes just touch each individual letter on the screen, or write the word. Spelling, by the way, can be orally as well as air spelling or writing. Some or all. When I'm working with older students, I may not do these 2. I may just do those. And then you want to show the words that you were looking at, and I'm going to show you an example of that in just a minute. But I use color to differentiate the parts of the word. So they see it in parts, and then they see it in whole. I recommend focusing on 5 to 10 words at a time, more for older students. And I always want them to read through the list until they can read it fluently. Now, going through a list once does not mean they have mastered the list or the spelling, sound, or the letter cluster, or the word family. All right? We are developing, enhancing the left side of the brain's ability to process phonological text. So word work focuses just on one aspect of reading, the phonological part. It mostly ignores semantics and syntax. By itself is not sufficient. It's necessary, but not a sufficient part of any reading program. Traditionally, word work was all they did. And that's providing like 1/10 of what should be in a remedial reading program. And then I recommend ending with some games or writing or something to reinforce the letter pattern. Basics. Let me show you what I mean. Looking at the consonant blend SL. See, hear, say, spell, touch. See the list of words, but I like to introduce the words this way. Sla. O is slow. Sla. Ap is. This is a form of onset rhyme or word building. Sla. Ab is. And again, you see how I'm using color codes to help them see the parts of the word. Enhance their ability to process letter-sound relationships or see parts within the word. And same thing. This is for an older student. I think I have 8 words here. Yeah. And then at the end, I want them to read through the list fluently. Slow, slap. I may provide some cues like ac, am, ate, all right, to provide some structure. I want the student to be successful. If the student misses a word, I go back, all right? If the student misses a word, I simply go back and do the list until they can do it reasonably fluently. With sight words, that's a part of word work. That should be part of it. You want to focus on the Dolch 220 words. Fry are the most frequent word list. These are words that can be recognized instantly without having to sound them out. And you want students to have some of these. You want to document their mastery. All right. When a student can read a word consistently, can recognize a word consistently. I usually have a file for each individual student with their name on and the 220 words in the Dolch list. This is the 220 most frequent words. When a student can read it consistently, I simply circle that. That's a wonderful form of assessment. I always like to have a bunch of games using flashcards, and you're limited only by your imagination. Here are just some of them. And in my book, Chapter 10, I have a whole host and a plethora of fun activities that you can do. Am I promoting my book? Yes, I am, because I think it's a good